Hello Mabu, hi, welcome back to another episode of my Salute House series, and this is something you many teens are watching right now, and oh boy, you're gonna like it. And in this video, I am gonna be saluting on Gravity Falls. Yes, you heard it right, Gravity Falls, on Disney Channel and Disney XD as well. Loyal tweens and teen fans, listen, this is something you expected me to do it, although it is not mentioned in public on social media. So, okay, without the delays, let us begin, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, go! Gravity Falls is one of my favorite tween-attracted cartoons among Disney television productions. Unlike conventional animated programming aimed strictly at children, this series bridges the gap between childhood entertainment and adolescent cognitive engagement. It appeals strongly to viewers in the tween stage, those navigating the early transition from childlike simplicity toward deeper analytical awareness. Produced for Disney Channel and created by Alex Hirsch, the show distinguished itself through layered storytelling, cryptographic puzzles, psychological humor, and long-form narrative continuity. It did not merely aim to entertain, it invited interpretation. What sets Gravity Falls apart is its structural intelligence. Beneath its comedic surface lies a carefully constructed mystery framework involving coded messages, symbolic foreshadowing, and philosophical undertones about identity, trust, and the fear of growing up. For a tween audience, this complexity feels validating. It assumes trust and the fear of growing up. For a tween audience, this complexity feels validating. It assumes intellectual capability rather than oversimplifying content. When I encountered the show in December 2018 at age 11, I was already entering a stage of increased self-awareness. I was becoming more selective about what captured my attention. Humor alone was no longer sufficient. I was drawn to narrative depth. Gravity Falls provided both absurd comedy and layered intrigue, which immediately made it compelling. What made Gravity Falls distinct, and why it resonated with me at age 11, was not only its surface-level humor, but its structural ambition. Created by Alex Hirsch and produced by Disney Television Animation for Disney Channel, the series premiered in June 2012 and concluded in 2016 with a deliberately crafted narrative arc that spanned 2 seasons and 41 episodes. It blends mystery, comedy, and adventure, and it rewards viewers who pay attention to detail and long-term plot progression. Unlike typical children's cartoons that reset their premise each week, Gravity Falls embeds a continuous mystery at its core, the secret history of the titular town, and the supernatural forces that lurk beneath its rustic facade. The narrative begins with the Pine twins, Dipper and Mabel Pines, both aged 12 years old, arriving in the enigmatic town of Gravity Falls, Oregon, to spend the summer with their great uncle Stan. Their summer quickly turns into an extended investigation as they uncover strange phenomena, cryptic journals, and hidden agendas that challenge their assumptions about reality. One of the defining strengths of the series is its handling of character development within a mystery framework. Dipper Pines is analytical, methodical, and relentlessly curious, traits that often put him at odds with the unknown. His twin sister, though equally adventurous, approaches the world with emotional intuition, creativity, and humor, providing narrative balance. Their great uncle, commonly referred to as Grunkle Stan, presents a gruff exterior and a penchant for opportunistic showmanship as the proprietor of the Mystery Shack, a local tourist attraction filled with oddities. Yet the show gradually reveals his deeper motivations and familiar vulnerabilities as the story unfolds. Other supporting characters contribute to both thematic complexity and tonal diversity. Suze Ramirez, at 22 years old, functions as a loyal yet easygoing handyman whose earnestness offsets the show's darker undertones. Wendy Corduroy, a 15-year-old high schooler working at the Mystery Shack, introduces an adolescent dynamic as both Dipper's crush and an agent of grounded perspective within the bizarre environment. What differentiates Gravity Falls from more episodic children's series is how it rewards engagement. Story arcs build on one another, clues are planted across episodes, and mysteries introduced early are revisited and expanded later. This narrative strategy aligns the viewer with the protagonist's evolving understanding of the town and its secrets. enhancing emotional investment over time. By the time I encountered the series in 2018, I had already transitioned beyond early childhood programming into a phase of introspection and pattern-seeking. Gravity Falls met that intellectual curiosity by presenting storytelling that was self-aware, tightly plotted, and thematically rich, yet still anchored in humor and whimsy. The show's ability to blend light-hearted absurdity with sincere emotional beats made it uniquely compelling during a developmental stage when both cognitive complexity and self-awareness were emerging in my media consumption. In this way, Gravity Falls marked the subtle yet meaningful shift in how I approached narrative media, not as passive entertainment, but as a layered text capable of provoking deeper thought and reflective engagement. And now, below are 10 episodes of Gravity Falls that I remember most vividly, each shown with brief story summaries that capture both key narrative beats and why they stood out to me for the time being. 1. In Tourist Trapped, Dipper and Mabel arrive in Gravity Falls for the summer and find a mysterious journal in the woods that hints at supernatural phenomena. Dipper tries to save Mabel from what he thinks is a zombie boyfriend, only to discover something far stranger. This premiere set the tone for mystery, humor, and sibling dynamics. 2. In The Legend of the Gobblewalker, the twins and Suze go on a boat expedition to catch a rumored lake monster. Meanwhile, Grunkle Stan tries to gain fishing partner and connection with the kids. This episode mixed supernatural curiosity with character bonding and comedy. 3. In Headhunters, Mabel and Dipper stumble on Stan's wax museum. Mabel wants to create her own sculpture. When the wax figure's head goes missing, the siblings investigate, blending mystery with satire. It's an early example of the show's comedic mystery style. 4. In The Inconveniencing, Dipper attends a haunted convenience store with Wendy and her friends, trying to impress her. Parallel to that, Mabel explores the store's quirky oddities. This episode struck a balance between humor and eerie charm. 5. In Double Dipper, at a Mystery Shack party, Dipper uses a cloning machine to increase his chances with Wendy. Mabel faces off against Pacifica Northwest in a karaoke battle. My favorite part of that episode is when Mabel Pines took a turn to sing, and Puss to sing, "Oh Boy, Don't Start Unbelieving," which made me catch attention on screen. 6. In The Time Traveler's Pig, Dipper uses a time machine to fix a mistake he made with Wendy. Mabel accompanies him while making choices about priorities. 7. In Fight Fighters, Dipper brings a video game character, Rumble Skirmish, to life to solve conflict. Mabel helps Grunkle Stan confront his fear of heights. It blended surreal adventure with personal growth. 8. In Summerween, the town celebrates Summerween, where a monster forces the twins to collect 500 pieces of candy or be eaten. Parallel to that, the narrative explores Dipper's attempt to reconcile courage and fear. This Halloween and summer. 9. In Little Dipper, Dipper finds a magic growth crystal, but Gideon ends up with it to shrink the kids and take over the Mystery Shack. Both siblings must navigate insecurities tied to size and confidence. This episode deepened character intricacies. 10. And final, in Irrational Treasure, during Pioneer Day, the twins investigate the town's flawed origin story. They uncover deeper truths about community myths and perception. It combined conspiracy, humor, and thematic depth. These episodes, whether comedic, spooky, emotional, or clever, helped build the layered world of Gravity Falls that kept me engaged throughout my tween years. When I first encountered Gravity Falls in December 2018 at age 11, it was during personal me time on weekends. I had free TV time, and unlike younger years with preschool shows, although I still enjoy them today as main, I was ready for something with narrative depth. On quiet afternoons, I watched multiple episodes in a row, sometimes binge-watching 3 to 4 at a time, as a way of unwinding after school. The serialized nature of the show made it ideal for this. Each episode prompted me to think, wait, what does this clue mean? How does this connect to that story? That sense of cognitive engagement was energizing for a tween becoming more self-aware of narrative patterns and character development. Over 2019, I continued to revisit episodes whenever I needed something that balanced humor with mystery. It wasn't just background TV, it was intellectual engagement disguised as entertainment indeed. Now that I have Disney Plus since 2023, I've been able to revisit Gravity Falls in full with the convenience of streaming. Rewatching the series at 18, nearly 19 by April, is a different experience. I notice foreshadowing, visual symbolism, and narrative structure that I missed the first time. The mystery elements feel less random and more deliberate, and I appreciate how each character arc feeds into the larger thematic narrative. Disney Plus also makes it easy to follow the episodes in order, which enhances the continuity and allows for reflection on how the show concludes its intricate storylines. The depth that captivated me as a tween now resonates with me as someone reflecting on narrative craftsmanship and story design. In conclusion, Gravity Falls remains one of the most compelling animated series for transitional audiences, blending humor, mystery, emotional growth, and serialized storytelling in a way that respects viewer intelligence. Discovering it in 2018 at age 11 matched my cognitive readiness. The show helped inaugurate a phase of analytical media engagement. Whether it was laughing at the characters' quirks, puzzling over hidden clues, or feeling the emotional beats of character choice, every viewing contributed to a unique tapestry of narrative appreciation. So, kudos to Disney for this wonderful cartoon that I could never forget on TV. And that's all for the video. Thank you for joining me in this deep dive into Gravity Falls. I hope you enjoyed revisiting the mysteries, the humor, and the memorable characters, as much as I did. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Also, feel free to leave a comment sharing your thoughts, including which episodes or moments were your favorite and why. I would love to hear your perspective. That's all for now. It's over and out now. See you later.